So the meal I chose is a common lunch combination over in Germany. The reason I chose this was because I grew up in Germany, um, and something I used to eat on a somewhat regular basis growing up. It kind of reflects German cooking style, eating habits, and culture, like food combinations. The meal itself is pork schnitzel, which is you take a pork chop, you kind of beat it with a meat mallet, so it's like very thin. Then you fry it with some breadcrumbs and mashed potatoes, which is homemade. So like you have like three potatoes, you boil it, mash it up, mix it with some salt and water, some fresh herbs, and then a sparkling juice, which is carbonated apple juice. And your total calorie combination for all three of those is like 1,611 calories per serving. The three macronutrients of fat, carbs, and protein are 118.7 grams for the fat. The carbs is 243.4 grams. And the protein is 55.7 grams. And a pretty high vitamin was vitamin D at 56 mcgs. And some things that this meal does pretty well is the carb load, and that's kind of a combination to the breadcrumbs and the potatoes. At being at 243 grams, that's pretty good. It's high in energy, gives you a lot of energy, a lot of fuel at that 1,611 calories. The eggs and pork provide lots of protein and and also macronutrients like vitamin B, iron, and potassium in conjunction with that vitamin D. The limitation is that it's very high in fat at 119 grams. It's also low in fiber and vegetables, which means it lacks a strong vitamin C, magnesium base. And just like looking at like American version of this, which would be fried chicken and potatoes and soda, the American version is probably going to be bigger, richer in like fats, and because again, like the way you cook a pork schnitzel is different than how you cook fried chicken because it's not deep fried. And then the choice of drink being like a soda versus sparkling juice, which is just apple juice with that is carbonated. The British version is pretty interesting, and that reflects like how like lots of European foods are very similar to each other, but are just different enough to be their own thing. They have a pork cutlet, which is kind of very similar, but they do tend to pair more vegetables with their food, which would solve the fiber aspects of this. And they include tea with their drinking habits. So, kind of very similar, but different.